Hi everybody, how you doing? I've got out of the house. I'm at the park right now. I was reading my book, The Magic of Thinking Big. And as I'm reading along, um, in my mind, I'm getting this image about. Remember the two videos I just recently put up? One of this side of my face, but I mirrored it. But when I mirrored it, I didn't mirror it like for example, like King Charles's picture, where they take each picture and they put it together, but they're facing the same way. It's like when you look into a mirror, um, you see yourself still standing up in the same direction. But perhaps when you're looking in the mirror, the sides are different from the video being taken. Or like this, I had the camera on the front or the back facing side instead of the other side of it. Normally when you take videos and stuff. So my right side's here and my left side's here. So it flips it around kind of like thing. So I was sitting here reading, and what come to my mind is the two videos I put up about this side of myself being mirrored, but flipping it upside down and putting it, right next to me. So my face is facing up, and then my face is facing down, upside down, right next to each other, right? And if you look really close in between, you can see an image or right in the middle of it. But the one I put up yesterday on my left side, my ear, if my ear wasn't there and just closed up next to this, there might be something more clear that comes in, but I can still see something there. Now, again, going back to, as I was thinking along here, that came into my mind and I was like, oh yeah. So I'm seeing that image in my mind, and I'm seeing right next to it the yin and yang sign. Okay, so when we look at the yin and yang sign, it's the same thing as I was doing, mirroring. So I got images coming out from this direction, but if I turn myself upside down, I've got images from another direction as well. When we look at the yin and yang sign, you can see that one fish, like the black fish, is going down, right? So black is like soil. It's the ground, the land, the mother, right? And then remember, Mother Mary, I think her true robe she's represented in blue because of the sky, because she's up in the sky, she holds the dome, right? But she's also the land as well, right? The X. So if you look at a graph, you have the y-axis and the x-axis. So she's XX, her DNA. You look at Adam, the male body, I am X, the land, mother, the fire, the chi, right? And then going straight up, the y-axis is the Y chromosome. Go to heaven to God, Yeshua. I think some people call him Yahweh. But that's the symbolism of it. Remember, God controls the keys to heaven and to Hades. Now, when you go below the X line on a graph, right, it starts going negative. -1, -2, -3, -4, still on the y-axis. But you go back up to the 0 that centers right in the middle, right? That would be right here. So the y-axis going down, right? And I'm sure it goes farther up. Either that or it's centered at the heart. Perhaps the 0 is representing here on the axis going up. That's kind of interesting. Wonder if it's there or the solar plexus. Ooh. But anyway, so you've got the XX. Remember, X where the 0's at, it goes into positive and then it goes into negative. So if I look at my body, my right side positive, my left side negative. So X positive, X negative. So lunar, right? The moon. You go get the moon, it's a big egg. And then, of course, the keys to heaven and Hades. Yeshua, God does. right? This is where God's at. He resides in this area, the tree of life. Remember the third eye? This is the house of God. Okay, so when I seen the yin and yang, I was seeing two energies, right? But I was also seeing two worlds. I was seeing, from my negative side, the dark fish, right? And then I was looking, but the dark fish is not all negative, right? It still has light in it. And the light has dark in it. You'll see it on the yin and yang sign of the black and white yin and yang. Um, and it's because Mother, the land here, our soil body carries an energy, right? It's got the elements, the elemental kingdom. Let's just put it that way. And then we have Father, right? So I think this whole experience is pretty awesome, and now I kind of understand when I do the things that I do. Why I don't understand them at first, but I just do them and throw them out there, and then like now I'm here reading about some information, and it just pops in. So again, we just have to be patient, and then our spirit guides are going to show us something of why you did it. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to focus more on that mirror image, and I wonder, I really wonder when because they even have it on Alice in Wonderland where she goes in to a mirror straight forward. Or when she went down the hole, she's going, she's falling, right? So it's like she goes and falls down the hole. And when she gets to the bottom, she has to flip over and walk in that world, right? So she has to flip. It's like I was mentioning yesterday too, as well. That my spirit guides were telling me or showing me is about the. I think it's coming out of Davy's locker, and that's kind of interesting too about King David, right? Because I think we're all somehow we're all formed part of King David, and I say that because King David had a lot of wives, a lot of different wives from my perspective. And I think it's because he was planting his seed all over the world, putting it in the bloodlines, right? The DNA. And that goes back to, the planting of the three seeds for the three brains, right? So down below, as above, planting three brains. You got your right brain, which is your emotional brain, right? You got your center brain, reptilian, which I call the dragon brain, like the snake. And then you've got over here on your left side, you have your lymphatic brain, right, for your immunity, immune system for your body. And then down below you, so you got, for me, a man, I got my left foot, which is the grounding of the land. I got my right foot as the water, standing on water. So it's kind of like I spiritually, mentally thinking I'm grounded. I'm standing on both. And then I have my privates, or I would say, yeah, I'm just going to say it, my private, kind of imagining that it's hanging down, or my tailbone would be hanging down, but I'd rather use my privates, make it hanging down and touching the ground. I don't know, it's kind of like another grounding, because we have three things. Now, when you look at a tree, you'll see roots, three or more roots, right, on the ground, holding the tree up. And then you have the bush on top, right? So it branches out. And if you look at that, that's the penitent, right? The